Hello, welcome back. We're in day 11 of Lent. Some of us have been doing the Ho'oponopono journey through Lent using my forgiveness journal. I wrote this, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago now, but it is on, it will be linked to it if you wanted to get a copy of it and work your way through it with us. It's still not too late. And I use it year on year, year in, year out, and just use post-it notes for the journaling part of it because it is a journal. And there are kind of spiritual exercises, activities, so that you can document things that are happening and notice any changes that are happening as a result of doing the cleaning, because it's all about cleaning. And this is something that is central to all spiritual traditions, the idea of cleansing and cleaning. And most certainly it is true of Christianity, as we talk about Jesus being one who, his blood is cleansing. And all of that can seem really strange because it's religious language. And what does it actually mean? It just feels like it's disconnected from real life or from modern life because it's related to ancient practices of sacrifice and so on. You know, what's lovely about this journey and this understanding is that things and ideas and images and symbols that we use are simply pointers to a reality that is perennial and that is underneath it all. This is what religion is about. And the psychology of Carl Jung really helps us bridge the modern world with ancient religion because it recognizes that symbols are part of our makeup as human beings. They're deeply interwoven in our psyche or the soul. What we'll be talking about is cleaning tools today. And all of this seems really weird, but maybe understanding symbolism and imagery and how this connects us in particular to the world of the four elements is really the topic for today. So it's a big topic, and I've got quite a lot of things to show you. And I want to make sure that I speak with clarity. So what I'd like to do is at the beginning, I'd like to just do the prayer. I usually do it at the end, but this is the prayer that will just clear the space around me in my energy field, and it will also clear yourself, your energy field, so that there can be some connection and some clarity in whatever I say, whatever words come, that there'll be something here for you. So pray with me. Do, O divine Creator, Father, Mother, Son in one, if I, my family, relatives, ancestors, have offended you, your family, relatives, ancestors, in thought, word, deed, or action, since the beginning of our creation to the present, we ask your forgiveness. Let this cleanse, purify, release, cut all the negative blocks, energies, memories, and vibrations, and transmute all the negative, unwanted energies into pure light. And it is done. Amen, amen, and amen. Did you notice that when I actually said the prayer there, quite naturally I bowed my head? It was instinctive to do so. It is almost as though the body is doing something very intuitive and instinctive. It is recognizing the ancestral lineage of me, this person, Jill, who's holding space at this moment for something much bigger, this incarnational experience of life that isn't isolated. It isn't just about me, the small self of the story of Jill. It's about something so much bigger. And it recognizes that I'm living in a world where there are problems. So Ho'oponopono is all about problems, clearing data, seeing problems as being patterns in the collective memory that need clearing. And so I am recognizing that I am bringing problems and I am in a sea of problems and that it's all data. And that I can hold space for the collective memory of all my ancestors and family, not just my tribe, but the whole of the human race. And I can say, sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you, vicariously on our behalf. See, I'm saying our, I'm not seeing myself as separate to all of that. And so quite instinctively, I bowed my head. I bow my head as an acknowledgement of sincere penitence. And also, like the namaste of the God in me honors and recognizes the God in you. Maybe already that has spoken to somebody, because this is the practice. And if you just learn to do that in your quiet space, to hold your hands and come into a place of connection with the greater Ruha, not the small soul of the separate identity, individual life that you are living, but the larger Ruha, and hold space for the cleansing. That's really what incarnational life is about. It's about, you're the one here. Okay, this has just come to me to say this. This is moving. This brings me to tears. Every single human being in your family lineage that you can't possibly know of, all the bloodline, it's as though each time it's been handed on, a new baby born, one dies, one is born, and there is something in the DNA that's handed on. And you're the one that is here now, holding the baton. The baton has been handed on, and you're holding space. So what you do with your life isn't just about you. This is your chance to clean it all up. This is your chance to put it all right. And that is phenomenal. And this is why your life is precious. You may feel insignificant because you feel so small in the big world. So many people here on this planet, and so many voices. And you open social media and you just get lost with the noise and the dominant voices, and you feel so insignificant. But you chose to be here right now. You're exactly where you should be. You have a whole host of ancestors in spirit, and also angels, which we will be talking about in a moment, supporting you in this incarnational life, this journey that you're on, and cheering you on. So just stand a little bit taller in knowing that. Just put your shoulders back, hold your head up high. Yes, you take on the mantle of the responsibility of it all. And that's a key element of Ho'oponopono, taking responsibility for it all. You think, I don't want the weight of that on my shoulders. It's the only way you can clean in a powerful way. It's the only way, just as Jesus taught, through his example of life, he took on board, he took upon himself the sins of the world. This is the meaning of it. This is the spiritual truth that is demonstrated in his life and teaching. And it's a calling for every one of us. We have help in doing it in the terms of spiritual tools. And these tools I'm going to talk to you about may seem really strange, as I've said, because we're going to talk about solar water. No, I'm going to backtrack. I'm going to come to the elements and then it will make more sense. So I'm doing a course at the moment. I think I've spoken about it with Neil Douglas Klotz. And it's about the way of the Aramaic Jesus. And he takes us back to the actual words that Jesus would have spoken. But not only that, the milieu of his time. So it's understanding the ancient world, understanding the meaning of words. And it's not, there was a cross-fertilization. You had the Hebrew Israelites, but then you also had Mesopotamia, you had Phoenicia, and you had Zoroastrianism from I think it's Phoenicians. I think they came from that. I'm not sure, but it's all an ancient world where we find similar themes and similar stories in all of the traditions from those words. So there was always this inter-fertilizing, and the reason that it's good to know about these things is because then we understand Jesus. Jesus was a person, human being born into a culture, so he was influenced by culture. Some people believe he travelled widely, so that he was opening his mind to different cultures too. And certainly he had this connection to the divine in terms of his ministry and his mission on earth. But he was a product also of his culture, as you and I are. So what's helpful to know is that in the ancient world, the four elements were really key. This was a world where people were embodied. They had a much stronger sense of embodiment and being grounded than we perhaps are. We are a lot more in our minds, in our heads, since the Enlightenment, and also I'm hearing since, with the digital age. So the digital age takes us even more into this sort of cloud, this techno cloud, where we live our lives almost in the techno cloud, can spend hours lost scrolling and then putting our material, as I am doing now, uploading to the cloud. So sometimes we can be so busy with the ideas and thoughts and technology that we're almost enclosed physically in a room and we're not getting out in nature, and we feel disconnected from who we really are, because who we really are is absolutely a part of the earth. Literally, physically, it's a part of the earth because our bodies are made up from the four elements. The breath that is in us, the water that is in our bodies, and that's keeping our tissues and cells in the right sort of homeostasis, the blood that's going through our veins, the organs and the functioning of the organs, it's all within fluid. So also fire, which is light. So that in the Hebrew, the same word, it's the same word for light and fire. Okay, so we know that the body is light and that the cells have a light, the spark of the cells. So I'm going to give you a prayer of blessing that blesses the four elements and helps you to connect in your physical being with the four elements. So tubwayon means blessed. That's the word in Aramaic that means blessed. This connects us to the unseen realm for help. We're connected for help. And what do I mean by that? In the ancient world, the elements were living beings. There were living beings in nature. We still have this even in like Irish mythology and other mythology. You have this strong sense of the elemental spirits, don't you? In our sense awareness, in the very fact that if we just focus on our bodies now, and perhaps the chair that you're sitting in, the hardness of the chair that you're sitting in, the coolness of the air around you, on your skin, our sense awareness connects us to the material world and helps us know that we are dependent on the atmosphere of this world for our survival. So in that sense, we're not separated. And this links us to this ancient idea that in breathing the elements, we connect with the angels, if you want to call them that, of earth, fire, water, and air. So here's the Aramaic: Tubwayun aha for the earth, Tubwayun mea for water, Tubwayun nuhra for fire or light, and Tubwayun ruha for breath or spirit. Now, one of the practices that it talks about is the solar water. And when I wrote this book, I've got the same bottle that I have in the picture. I took a photograph of this bottle. It was on my windowsill at the house I used to live in. And I used that photograph in the book. And it's from this idea that the water placed in sunlight is absorbing the light of the sun. I talked just a moment ago about how we have the ancestral lineage in the DNA and then in the blood. But of course, the waters break, don't they? When a baby's being born. So the water in the body is a connection of the trace element of the memory. All right. This can kind of blow our minds. It seems strange. It's difficult to understand. But there is something in it. And we've lost this understanding of that sense of the sacred and symbolism and the power of tribal rituals even in life and in how life looks and what manifests in life. The water is a cleaning tool for all the memories are being cleaned. Because, why? You say, why? Because we've decided it to be so. This is an inspired tool that we can use. And so the very water itself reminds us of the water that's in our bodies that we will then drink. So this water will be used in cooking. I might put a little bit in some drinking water. Earlier I put some drops in a plant. I was watering a plant. My husband had this plant that it's a Joshua tree, and he sowed the seeds when our son was born 17 years ago, and it's been with us in different places, and it's gone through some really, it was healthy and then it was nearly dead, and he was really nurturing it when he was home over winter. And he asked me just yesterday, is it alive? Is it okay? Well, I just looked at it and it has got green shoots. There's lots where it's actually died away, but it's got green shoots. And so I watered it this morning, but I put a few drops of the solar water into the water that I watered it with. Okay, so this is the solar water. There's also breathing, using the breathing, heart breathing, and the very fact that the breath of life is the same as the wind in the trees. It's the same as the breath that was breathed into the first man, Adam. So in breathing, we just return to spirit, but in an embodied way. We're not trying to escape from our lives. We're not trying to spiritual bypass. I talked about this last week. And the urge to spiritual bypass can be really strong in non-duality. And it can also be really strong in some of the Gnostic teaching, where it's believed that the material is somehow corrupt and evil, and that spirit is purer. So you say, well, of course I want more spirit, and I want less of the material, though that causes a split. And if that takes root, then that makes us just yearn for leaving. That could be what people say, I can't take any more of this. So these exercises, because they are to do with material things that connect us to the four elements, like the breath. So we have the water, okay, we have the air, which is the breath, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. And then as we go through, there'll be other things that are to do with the earth, like the fruit of the earth. I think there's chocolate, there's corn, popcorn, there are other things, blueberries, I think. These are just inspired so that as you are consuming these things, you are remembering that your body and your soul are one. Okay, let me just stop talking and we're going to just do this now. So the heart breathing comes from the word Hawaii. And the word Hawaii, the first letters of Hawaii, which mean breath and water of God. That's what it literally means. And so you're using this simple technique below to know that when you're breathing and pausing, the divinity is saying, I love you. Sit quietly with your hands on your knees. Well, I'm going to suggest we could even use the hands in the prayer position. And in the book, we talk about doing this 10 times. But what we're actually doing is we're going to be breathing in and pausing and counting 5. And then breathing out, pausing at the bottom and counting 5. And then we do the second. We do it a second time, a repeat. Use the fingers of the hands to lightly count. All right, so lightly count, and then at the end we've done 1 round when we do 5. So sit with me. Now, become aware of your breathing. Breathe in. Hold it for 5. Breathe out. Wait for 5. And that's the first one. Ooh. It clears the mind. Do I feel detached from my body? No. I feel more aware of being a human being. Okay, and a human being is in design part of the earth. That's right, isn't it? In the Bible story, it's of the earth, of the dust of the earth. And from earth you became, from earth you came, minerals of the earth, to dust you return. And it is the earth that will help us through this transition. Not from detaching from earth, not from going into some strange way of thinking where we've just given up on earth and we're going to now trying to turn our attention to another planet, to Mars, to life on Mars, to starting a colony up there. No. It is earth that will bring us through into the next stage of evolution. And the next stage of evolution is the era of the consciousness soul. Empathy will increase. Community of Philadelphia, brotherly, sisterly love. I found these notes this morning and I just thought that is something I wanted to just talk about and include in today's video. Where every soul will feel for others, empathy will increase. Where disparate groups, and we are, don't we know it, in this place of tribalism where culture wars tries to put us in different tribes and groups, where these disparate groups will unite and will live within one another. It won't be a bland uniformity, but a synthesized unity. So this is what will replace the material paradigm, the spiritual paradigm. It's not a separation from earth, it's a more embodied, where there's a sense of the sacredness of the material. And this will mean loving earth and caring for earth, but also more consciously focused and nurtured by earth. So these four elements, in a way, this is a blessing. Every time we're doing this, we're blessing. Okay, this has just come to mind. When we bless our food, I got this morning, went to buy this lovely loaf. Look, beautiful loaf. And it's a lovely little artisan bakery that we've had. And I just wanted some of this gorgeous crust that it's got. And it's really wholesome because it's good flour and it's not processed food. And when I eat that, I will be nourishing my body, but I will be aware that this is a way of connecting to earth. Because I'll be eating it consciously, because I'll be blessing the food. And this is where the idea of saying a blessing over one's food came from. It is cleansing the food, energetically cleansing, but also honouring the fact that the earth is sustaining us. So always it's about this symbiotic relationship between ourselves and our environment. Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking that is about being out in nature more as well. My husband is in Ireland at the moment, and he's doing like a house build. It's in a rural setting, and it's winter. It's since the beginning of January, and somebody said to me, what's he doing going out in this cold weather? It was snowing, and it was deep with snow when he got there, and he's in a little caravan. And they were saying, oh, he'll catch his death, he'll catch pneumonia. But actually, he's been so well, and I've had all these sniffles and things because I've been in the city among people, and where viruses are being spread around. But he has not been ill once because he's just so much more connected to nature, because he's just breathing the fresh air all the time. He's using water from the well to wash in. So it's literally water that's come out of the earth, not got any chemicals in or anything. And it is just so lovely. I wish I was there to know that the earth is, when the earth is sustaining us, when we're in balance with the earth, our well-being, we flourish. It's good for our well-being. Anyway, I've said a lot. This is one other thing I did want to show you. One other thing. This is something that my son bought me for Christmas, and it's a little onyx sculpture of can you see, a lovely little elephant there, and it holds a candle. So there I've got earth, because this was made from a rock, and fire together, and then we've got water, and then we've got the breathing of the ruha, the heart breathing. So maybe by doing these things, this will help you. Maybe by using a candle, do your heart breathing, use the solar water, use one of the food cleansing tools that are suggested in the book, blueberries or hot chocolate or strawberries or popcorn or whatever is inspired for you to do. Maybe the bread, maybe treating yourself to some artisan bread, and as you slice bread that's been handmade and you eat it, you're mindful of the earth nourishing you, and that you are made of earth, and you're feeling that that's a cleaning. Why is it cleaning? The idea with the tools is that they continue to do the cleaning even while you're getting on with your day, because the memory coding is something that all you've had to do is give your conscious thought to it once, and then the subconscious will repeat the pattern that you've programmed in. You are tweaking the program. You are recoding. You're being like a coder of consciousness. Okay, and the eating of the blueberries and the consuming of the oh, that's interesting. And the consuming of all blueberries. Remember, everything is connected. Oh gosh, wow. There's something, what is that called? Quantum entanglement, is it? This has just come to my mind now. So I bless a blueberry. Oh, wow. I bless the blueberry and I use it as a cleaning tool. And I decide that that is what its role will be. And then all blueberries are blessed. And everyone consuming blueberries on the planet is blessed. That's the power of Ho'oponopono. That's the one in the all. That's the taking responsibility for the all. So we can bless the world. We can bless nature. And because of the way that consciousness works that we don't fully understand, and the entanglement and the connection that is implicit, we are blessing, we are recreating, we are cleansing, we are bringing in the new world, the kingdom on earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. We're returning things to the blueprint, to that place of wholeness before it all went wrong, before the problems came in, before the fall, if we want to use the Christian language. Okay, I hope there was something there that spoke to you. Thank you for bearing with me as I was distracted and my mind was all over the place, but I think that we were brought back, and I just hope that you are blessed. Say a blessing over you. I say a blessing over your body. Remember, okay, bless your own body. When you do the blessing of the water, fire, the earth, and the air, you are blessing your own body when you're doing the breathing. And then your body is being cleansed. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time. God bless.